How's it going, everyone? Well, let's see. I picked up a. Well, I didn't pick it up. This is was sent to me uh, to to get it running again. This is an Echo PB-250. A little history on it. The people that bought this had it for about 2 months. It run for them, and then all of a sudden it quit running after about 2 months. And after that, it's been kicked around from person to person. Finally, my buddy of mine ended up with it, and he's been after me. It's been sitting in one guy's shed, and then another guy's shed, and then it was sitting in my buddy's shed for 3 months or 3 years, and then he finally talked me into working on small engines again. It's been, oh shit, probably 10 years since I've worked on anything, and I remember how to do everything. So I figured this is going to be perfect to start a channel, and we're going to start out with this Echo PB. Like I said, it won't run. It just quit for some reason, and then nothing. So we're going to tear it apart, and we're going to get into it and see what's going on with it. And if I'm not sure if the PB 250 is the one that came out with bad carburetors that had to change them over for, to get them to run properly again. Well, checked on a price on a carburetor for this PB, and it is $63 for a carburetor for this. And I know my buddy's not going to spend $63 on a carburetor. So we're gonna tear it down and see what we can find out. See if we can get this guy running again, and see what the carburetor is like, if it is bad or what. So you're in for a treat. It's been a while since I've worked on anything, and I don't know if any of you have worked on one of these, but we're going to work on it together and find out if we can get this orange turd running again. See if we can polish this turd to make it go. So first off, what we're going to do is I'll check, see if there's still got the air filter. Yep, still got the air filter in it, and it's, as you can see, it's clean. So there's no problem there. Choke works. Okay, we'll pull this off, and you can see it's still got tags on it. This thing's been sitting around forever. Let me see if I can find a ratchet. Like I said, first thing we're going to do is find out if this thing even has spark before we go any further. On off switch on the top. Back is stop, front's run on this. I hope you guys can see it okay. If not, step a little closer and you'll be able to see it better. Now, I'm not going to be able to really, let me see if I can. I think I can finagle this to where everybody can see if it's got spark. I'll cheat a little bit. I'll stick a screwdriver down in here. Get that set up so you can. Won't sit under it. See if we can get it to stay there. And she does. She's got spark. Here, you guys can step a little closer and see. Maybe you can see we got spark. There's the spark plug. Hold that up a little bit. As you can see, if you can see it, we got all kind of spark. Now step back a little bit so we don't trip over each other here. So main thing, we got spark. So 9 chances out of 10, carburetor. So let's start taking the carburetor off. I'm sure these are going to be metric, being an Echo. Most of these foreign jobbies are. Yep, Now, make a liar out of me. Let's see. 9. There. Yeah, close enough. So now that I know we have spark, and I know one thing I didn't show you, or we didn't check. Was to see what kind of compression, if we have any compression with this. Well, this is one of those linkage. Now remember, black to black, clear to white. Nasty little sucker. So while I'm thinking of it, come on. Oh yeah, all kind of compression. So I know we're not having a compression problem either. Somebody didn't fry it right off the bat, brand new. Like I said, there's very, very little use on this. Okay. Now we'll get set up and we'll tear that little guy down and see what we find out in it. The problem with me getting back into working on this stuff again is I'll start coming home and I'll find shit. Excuse the language, but I'll find crap sitting out in front of the garage wanting me to fix it. When I quit working on this stuff, I made some people mad because I wasn't going to work on it anymore. I was just tired of the working on this stuff, because when you work on this stuff for customers, they never pay you what the stuff's worth. It's hard to make any money at it. But messing around with it, and if you can find the stuff and fix it and sell it, you can make more money doing it that way than you can fixing it for other people. Yeah, I know you guys can't see this. All right, why don't you guys move over a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, well, now you need to look down a little. There, is that better? Yeah, that's better. Okay, as you can see, I removed the 4 screws that hold on the, sorry about that, I'm going to try and stick it up your nose, where you take the 4 screws out for your purge bulb. That's not a primer bulb. On these, it's called a purge, because you're not, ooh, man, that sucker is gummy. Let's see what kind of gobblies we got in this guy. All the purge bulb does is when you pump the purge bulb, it purges all air from the carburetor, making it easier to start. It is not a primer bulb. Let's see how this diaphragm is, see if it's petrified. Actually, no, it wasn't too bad. And on these new carburetors, Tipper's okay. We'll clean that up though. Problem with these new ones is they don't want you adjusting the carburetors, so they do some pretty funky things to hide the jets in them. Oh man, that's another one. Let's see how this pump is. Oh yeah, God. Nasty. And that pump's petrified as well. And our screen's dirty. Let's take out, let me get a little smaller screwdriver and we'll take that needle out of there and take a look at the tipper. The tipper seems to be set pretty good, pretty close. Ah, man. That's your little funky, little bitty spring. Tipper. And our pin. Take that screw all the way out of there. As you can see, it's not too bad. This side was really filthy. Screen's filthy. We'll change that too. Pulse is open. Oh no. Okay, well, put that in there. We'll get some cleaner out and we'll get this guy cleaned up. I don't have an ultrasonic cleaner yet, but it is on its way. Should have it. Maybe next video I do. Maybe I'll have the ultrasonic cleaner set up and we can do some ultrasonic cleaning with these carburetors. In the meantime, gum out. Crusty gum out. Let me get that gasket cleaned off of there. Okay, now let's see what we can do with this thing. Tell you what, that gum out sure doesn't feel good in the cut. Now I've been lucky a lot of times. I've been able to find something that I can get in there and adjust those little devils. I'm not going to call it what I wanted to call it. Sucker sure is tarnished. Looks like she sat for a while, as you can see. Looks like it sat for a while with some water in it. Usually a little bit of tarnishing doesn't hurt. But we'll get that cleaned up. Looks like that one pulse. So without the ultrasonic cleaner, I can't make it look all real nice and pretty. As I said, carb cleaner doesn't feel real good in the cut. Let's see if I can't find a little wire brush so I can kind of clean this up. So you guys can take a seat or sit down, whatever you want to do, stand up, stretch, whatever, while I go look for a little wire brush so I can clean that up a little bit better. Okay, found a nice little brass wire brush. Let's see if I can get him cleaned up a little bit better. Still pretty tarnished, but I may have to live with it. Now that screen cleaned up pretty good, so I don't even think I'm going to have to clean it or replace it. Now the Welch plug, I got to see if I have the right ones to put in there. Here we are. Nope. My Welch plugs are going to be too big, so let's see what's in the kit. Kit, we get a new screen, new needle, no Welch plug. So we're going to have to hope that under that Welch plug is clean. Normally I change every one of them, but I don't have the Welch plug to do it, so we're just going to, hopefully we're going to be able to do this and it's going to work out okay. Now on this one, since it did start acting up pretty quick after being bought, I want to check the body of this carburetor and see what it's like. I want to see see how square, see how square that plate is. I need a sharp edge, which is right there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue a piece of 600 down on this marble. That way your throttle will sit off to the side like so, and then you can clean that carburetor holding him flat down on there. And as you can see, she's warped a little bit. It's all shiny on the outside, and in the center is still gray. So that, like I said, that's a piece of 600 grit. Holding him nice and flat. Yep, we're getting there now. Still got a little bit in the center. We'll work him a little bit. Okay, that That's pretty good. It's just a wee little bit here, but that gasket will suck that up. Yeah, let me give it a little bit more. We'll see how close we can get it. Hope you guys can see okay. Yeah, that's better. Oops, sorry. Holding it under your nose, can't see it. So we got that. That wasn't too bad. I've had them a hell of a lot worse than that. This guy, man, I wish I had my wire wheel set up, but I don't. I'm hoping that'll be okay. We're going to find out together. Okay, Walbro carburetor, WYJ. There'll be a lot of crap in there we're not going to need. Like most of it, because we've got the wrong kit. So I'll have to get another one ordered. Since that other one was so petrified, it wasn't going to do us any good. So have to stop there and we'll come back to it when I get another carb kit. Okay, so what I did was I went over and dug through my old shop and dug through a mountain of shit and found found enough parts to put this carburetor back together, so I didn't have to. I did order new ones, but I did find enough stuff to put this one together for tonight. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my little Dremel here with a little wire wheel on it, and I'm going to clean him up. That looks better. Maybe we'll take and see if we can clean a little bit more of that. Got a little bit of gasket material left on there. That looks better. Alright, now we can get this thing put back together and see if we got something going. Alright, now we're going to have some fun and we do have a new metering jet, a metering valve. New tipper. Okay, I'll get that all screwed down. And now when you set these little metering levers, I always set them. Helps if you put the spring in them. Why the hell didn't you tell me I was forgetting the spring? Now I gotta take it all back apart and put the spring in it too. I know somebody out there is saying, hey, you forgot to put the spring in it. Yeah. That's what happens when you get older. Get that little guy back up out of there. Get our out of there. Our spring. These are always fun. Screw. Yeah, I know you can't see it very well. And tonight, I'm kind of all thumbs. Aha. There we go. Actually, that's not too bad. I try and keep that metering lever level with the whole base of the carburetor there. Okay. Now we want our gasket and our metering pocket, like so. Okay, gasket first, metering diaphragm. Him on there. Our purge valve, purge bulb and valve. Okay, you get the idea. I'll get this all put back on this. We'll come back to it. All right, now we'll get our fuel pump put on. Get our gasket. And the new fuel pump. Now what I like to do with these fuel pumps is I will take, and just kind of bend these up a little bit, like so. So when I put it down on there, I know I get a seal. I get a good seal on those. Mr. Screw. That's why you always have two screwdrivers. That way if you drop one, you can grab another one. That's better. Get that out of the way. Next thing. Let's see what that's like. Yeah, it doesn't, you can tell it's been sitting inside because it doesn't stink real bad. I mean, it smells a lot like gas. Don't mind me. I gotta get my wire. All right, there we go. Little sneaky tool. Just get down in there so I can get a hold of the. First, let me get rid of that gas cap. Yeah, now I can pull that guy up out of there. See, it's got this little spring clamp on it. There we are. And I'm not even gonna mess with that thing. Throw that right in the trash. And we're gonna get a new one. Never piss with them old fuel filters. I don't have to change the fuel lines because these are still nice and soft. I don't even need that clamp. I'll tuck him back down in there. Our purge line. Now we're ready to put our carburetor back on. I'll go ahead and throw that on and we'll come back and maybe we can get some gas in this thing and see what it's going to do. See how close we are. Okay, you remember where the fuel lines go? Let's see, the clear one goes on the white. And the black hose goes on the black nipple. Like so. See if we can get him, if I got that right. And the gasket falls off. Okay. There. And there. These are always fun. Definitely got some long-winded screws in this thing to hold that carburetor down. It must go all the way through that intake block too. Now I'm hoping, since I didn't take those jets out to clean it, that it's just going to have some funk in it. And once I purge it and get it fired, it will clean itself out, because there wasn't much. All it was just some oil residue from some old gas sitting in it. Now, let me see if I can find some gas. Shit, I don't even know if I have any mixed gas around here. Nope, I don't even have any mixed gas. I'm going to have to get some gas and get it mixed up. It's getting kind of late, so I'll finish this up in the morning, and I'll get the gas, and we'll come back and we'll see how close we are on firing this thing up, and see if we do need a new carburetor or if it just needed rebuilt and we can work with what we got. I did make a little adjustment tool so I can get in there and adjust those jets. Hopefully that works. If not, we'll have to try something else, because I know it's going to need adjusted. So until tomorrow, stay tuned. Okay, so the next morning I went and rounded up my 2-cycle can and got some 2-cycle mixed up. I don't have anything here that I run 2-cycle in anymore. All I do is I got my battery operated weed eater in my tractor. Now it looks like I'm going to have to start making sure I have 2-cycle gas lying around so we can work on this stuff. Okay, now I'll move from the bench here. We'll go outside the garage and let's see if she'll purge up first. A lot of air. Okay, she doesn't seem to want to purge. Okay, let me take a look at this and see what's going on. If I find something, I'll come back and we'll fix it. Okay, I'm getting a little bit. It is purging a little bit, and I'm just kind of wondering if I just got too much. Still got some of that old gas in it. I don't know. Let me see if I can get you so you can see it. It is. There she goes. Yep, we are getting some gas through it now. I don't know if it's going to be good enough or not. We'll have to try and run it and see. I had to pump the hell out of that thing to get that start purging. I think I still had some old oil left in the fuel line, so it took it a little while to work all the way up through, and now we'll go outside and see if we can get this thing running. All right, what do you think? Is it going to run? Did I do enough to get it to run? Or are we still going to have a lot of problems with this thing since it's been sitting forever? See how many times it takes for it to fire. Choke all the way on. Hold the throttle all the way open. I have to get a little gas and dump down that and see if I can get that thing to fire over. Okay, got a little 2-cycle oil. Pull that plug out of there. Hope everybody can see what I'm doing. I don't know how long it's been since this thing run. Just going to give it a little bit. See if I can get it to fire. At least. Come on. That purge bulb's getting pretty tight. I'm afraid we got some more problems in the carburetor. Okay, we're going to have to tear this down some more, tear into that carburetor a little bit more. I think we have a few more problems than what we think. Okay, so back on the bench, I'm going to go ahead and take that carburetor off and see what else we can find in that thing. I don't think you really need to see me tear this apart again. You already watched it once. I don't know if you want to, if you guys want to watch it again, just hang in there, sit down, relax. We'll see what we can find out. Okay, let me get set up and we'll see what we can come up with. See if we can find out anything else. Okay, what I found out was I need to change that little screen for starters. It looked clean. I have the new ones. I just didn't put in a new one. My bad. I should have just changed it out to begin with. and my tipper was just a little bit too low. I raised that up a little bit. And I'll show you what I come up with. I raised that tipper up a little bit, changed that screen, blew that out, soaked it down with carb cleaner, and blew that little port out in there where the tipper seats, the tipper valve seats. And now we should be able to purge up. Much better. And I don't know why somebody didn't tell me. Move a little bit of that shit around. Tuck my filter down in there a little further. I checked the line. I thought maybe I had a kink in my line, and it was, but no, that was okay. It was a little tipper valve in that screen, and I think I got it. Might be able to do take two here in a minute. Plus, nobody told me I had my gasket on this way. Well, somebody out there didn't tell me that I had it on upside down. It goes this way. So I'll get that put back together the right way, and hopefully we'll do a take two and we'll get this thing running. All right, take two on this. Let's see if we can get this little guy running. I'm not going to even, I'm trying not to put any gas down the cylinder. I want to see if I can get it to fire first on its own. Choke on. It's on. Purges up nice now. Okay, only running on choke. Let me get my little tool. Made a little carburetor adjustment out of a little hard hunk of plastic tubing to see if I can actually get that to turn. If not, we're going to have to come up with a different plan. I don't think it's turning. Nope, only wants to run on choke. Okay, she runs, but now we have to go to plan C. I got to get into those jets so I can get them to turn. I don't think I'm turning them at all. Okay, what I did was I took my drill and I drilled down to those jets. The aluminum cuts right out of there. And as soon as you hit that steel jet, head of that jet, you can feel it. Now what I'm going to do is I'll take my die grinder with a cutoff wheel and I'm going to cut down on all sides of that so I can actually get a hold of them and adjust them. So let me get set up for that and I'll bring you back and warning, noise alert. Okay, you get the idea. What I'm doing is I'm gonna cut them all the way down so I can get the head of those jets to stick up. That way I can get a hold of them and adjust them. And once I get that done, we'll come back and see if we can get a hold of them. I'd like to pull them out and check them and see what they're actually like, to see if I need to clean them out. Could be that we just have a bunch of shit down in them and you can't get them out. So I'll get that cut down so I can get them out of there, and then we'll come back and finish up on this carburetor. Okay, now I did get them exposed enough to where I can get a hold of them. Once I do get them out, I will see if I can make a little tool to get a hold of them and adjust them without having to get in here with a big bulky big bulky needle nose. And I'll see if I can't flatten that out a little bit better so they are a little easier to get a hold of. So you have the idea what I'm going to do. So I'm going to get them taken out and we'll inspect them. We'll come back and inspect them. Okay, I do believe this is one of the ones that had the bad carburetor when you buy it. I think after it breaks in, about, like I said, about 2 months worth of running, after it breaks in really well, then it doesn't want to run because it's not getting enough fuel. As you can see, I cut that down, filed that off, made it nice and smooth. And what I come up with are those two jets are identical. Those two little jets are identical, no spring to hold them in place. I do see little silver spots where they probably used thread locker on them once they run them in, so they're made not to be adjusted. But in our case, we're going to adjust them. Now I got my little plastic dude here, and it did fit. I can get that to fit all the way down on there and screw them in and take them out. After we get it, if we can get it adjusted properly to where it wants to run all the time, what I will do is I will glue these in place. I won't take them back out. What I'll do is I'll just probably put silicone on the top of them to keep them in place. That way, if we do need to adjust again at some point, all we have to do is break the seal, adjust it, and then silicone it back up. But I'm almost positive that that silver is going to be thread locker. On these carburetors, towards the front is always your low speed, back is high. You can see, or excuse me, I'm sorry, the back is your high speed jet, which is the big hole. You can see it. And the little hole is your high speed. So we'll get this put back together, put back on there, and we're going to do a take 3 on this to see if we can get it to run properly. If not, we're going to be down to buying a carburetor, which I don't know if this little machine is worth putting $63 into a carburetor. We'll find out. Alright, take 3 on getting this leaf blower to run right. So we got to put back together. Get it purged up. Choke on. Let's see how it runs. Okay. I think I flooded it. Sure did. So that's a good sign that we're getting too much fuel now. Definitely a good sign. Run them in a little bit. Just kind of blow some of the fuel and that out of the cylinder and get it to fire. got to get a little better adjustment tool. Let me see what I can come up with. Okay, went in and ate some lunch and kind of pondered on what to come up with to adjust that, and figure, well, I'm going to try this first. Pen top. Let's see if that'll get a hold of it. Nope, a little too big. So I think as close as we are, I'm just gonna see if I can get it adjusted with a pair of needle nose pliers, and then we can go from there. At least we got it running without the choke. Now we can go from there. Let's see what we can do. Got their top end going pretty good. Let me see if I can get that idle adjusted up. closer and closer. Right. As you can see, that's all it is. All you have to do is get to them jets so you can adjust them. It's not that the carburetor is bad, it's just that they're set wrong. So I sure appreciate you hanging out with me in Bald Guy Garage, and hope you enjoyed, and hope you learned something, and hope you had some fun like I did. Once car goes by. Till the next one.